It's very unfortunate for anybody to level an allegation against a minister for works and housing who's being harassed day in, day out by Ghanaians who need urgently dwelling homes. So no minister who has a modicum of rationality will permit a situation in which houses are not being used and is happy for it. But there is a scandal, unfortunately, which we need to solve. First of all, we're talking about a housing stock of less than 700 that they claim they've completed. Good. If you care to know, every facility for human habitation should have water and electricity.
Yes.
So they call some of these amenities on-site infrastructure. I want to stress this. Of all that they've rolled out, unfortunately, they do not have these facilities. So how can the human beings go and live there?
How many have they rolled out?
Let me show you how much they have rolled out. And you will see that it is something that we all should appreciate, that we are not trying to talk about fibs, you know. We're talking about serious situations that should engage everybody. What they've rolled out now, just give me a second, let me give you the accurate figure, because that is what I intend doing today, to be very accurate in my presentation. Yes. What they've rolled out is 636 housing units.
636?
That is so.
Out of 5,000?
Out of 5,000. And this is what you might want to call completed without amenities.
Oh, I see.
Good. So
they are not habitable?
They are not habitable, with the greatest of respect. And then they've also done 388 housing units, you see, at various stages of completion. So when you put all together, you can grant them at about 1,024 housing units, even if you want to say that these houses have been rolled out. Unfortunately, they don't have sewage on site. And bear in mind that people have to have sewage systems, which is a necessary accompaniment to any housing unit that you want to find. So this is where we are. So it will be very mean, those people who are doing vile propaganda, to say that the houses are ready for habitation, and Atta Akyea, and probably by extension, the Akufo-Addo government wants to do propaganda with the far from it. But there is a mess about this project that I think we should interrogate. And now let me preface this discussion by telling you that I've come under the training of President Akufo-Addo. What I know about him, training first as a lawyer and now in his government, that we shouldn't witch hunt. Very important. Do not lay a false charge against your neighbor. What is also significant is that the whole Mahama Segleme mess, you see, are fact-based, document-based. And I will tell you to your face that facts do not have party colors. So if you care to know, let me give you a quick, overview of this case, for you to know that...
As quickly as you can,
As quickly as I can. In the first instance, there was this whole large area of land, about 272 acres. You see, it is at the Segleme, which is at the Dangbe East District. And President Mahama, on the 15th of August 2012, gave an executive approval for the construction of 5,000 housing units at Segleme for 200 million United States dollars. What that means is that the president didn't use the entire cabinet. Normally you go through what we call the infrastructure committee of the cabinet. You see, where they will interrogate the project and the financials and the rest of them, and then ferry their report to the entire cabinet. And then the cabinet will approve, they will debate it and approve. This time, what the president did, that he just, gave the executive approval for that. But he sent the executive approval and the memorandum attached to it to Parliament. And on the 31st of October 2012, Parliament approved it. And let me tell you, it's very important for you to know that the parliamentary approval is not President Akufo-Addo Atta Akyea's invention. It's there. It's part of our records. 31st of October 2012. For what did Parliament approved. Parliament approved that they should go ahead and roll out the housing unit at Segleme, and the contractor is Messias Consultura OS Ghana Limited, and that they should use 200 million to roll out 5,000 housing units. We shouldn't lose sight of it. And the accompanying memorandum also said that a two-bedroom house under the project is pegged at 29,000 United States dollars, whilst a three-bedroom house should be pegged at 57,000 United States dollars. This is very important for us to see. Now, something very unusual happened, very outrageous, that on the 27th of February 2014, the then Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing, the Honorable Collins Dada, rubbished the parliamentary approval and downsized the scope of works, but maintained the same 200 million. The downsize was 1,502 housing units for the same price.
You mean the Honorable Collins Dada changed the scope of work by reducing the amount of housing
Precisely.
that were to be built?
Yes.
Parliament approved 5. So first, President Mahama signed 5,000.
That is so.
Parliament approved the same 5,000.
That is so.
But he changed it by what? Is it a constitutional instrument, ministerial instrument,
On his own whim and
executive instrument?
on his own whim and caprices.
Did he execute or document to the fact that he had changed it?
There is a document that it was duly signed.
So he signed a new contract with the contractor,
He signed a new contract with the contractor.
which said the contractor's obligation is to deliver how many housing?
1,502.
At the same 200 million.
As the same 200 million. You see, the upshot of that obnoxious arrangement, that means that one housing unit was going to cost the Ghanaian worker 133,155.79 United States dollars. How can that be affordable housing? So it seems to me that that's what he did. But for whatever reason, he has to explain. I don't know. Now, another issue which was very sad was that there was AESL, a government body that is supposed to superintend all these government works, you know. They have the capacity and everything to do it. But for one strange reason or the other, the minister hired a consultant called Ridge Management Services, a Dubai-based company, and the contract sum to come and do the same thing that AESL could
Would
do.
have done, yeah.
Yes. And then the contract sum was $5.6 million US.
For that consultancy work.
For that consultancy work for 3 months only. He was supposed to take 5.6 million. The worst scenario is that before the Dubai-based company could start work, I mean, they paid, the company 40% of the contract sum.
Which company?
It's called Ridge Management
This
Services.
is the consultants, or did the Honorable Collins Dada change the engineering company to deliver the work?
No, the engineering company will do its work, the constructional work, but they will have the superintendence of the work.
Yes, yes.
And then they hired it out to this Ridge Management Services.
This is what you are saying AESL could have done?
Yes, certainly.
Okay.
And then Architectural Engineering Service Limited were later brought on board, and they forced them to do a contract with one company called Victor Hugo. And the contract sum was $5 million US, and they paid also 40% as advance payment. We have to bear this in mind.
So the main contractors, those who were to get 200 million, got 40%.
The main contractor that was supposed to do the work, I'll come back to that, for the advance payment got 80 million US dollars. 40%.
80 million Ghanaian taxpayers US dollars.
Yes.
Even before he started.
That's the advance mobilization. 80 million.
But is that standard practice? Is 40% a standard practice?
It's outrageous. It is outrageous. Even as we are talking now, for some reason or the other, Honorable Kenneth has abolished advance mobilization, because sometimes the challenges and the small pairs we have. And I have this document that I placed before you. My good friend Samsia, he was challenging this fact that the contractor was never paid 80 million. This is a confirmation from
The Bank of Ghana.
the Bank of Ghana, saying that the contractor was paid 80 million United States dollars, that is 40% of 200 million, ab initio. These facts we can't run away from. What was worse, it has been found out that immediately the amount of 80 million was lodged in the contractor's account. 40 million United States dollars, I mean, was transferred outside into some unknown account.
Spirited away.
Spirited away. And I'm telling you that I have submitted. That was the seed of the bankruptcy of the project. Because if you care to know, that was...
Let me let viewers know what I'm holding. It's a Bank of Ghana letterhead. It's a letter written to the Director of Budget, Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, and it's written to the attention of Mr. Simon Patrick Che and his dear Sir, Republic of Ghana, acting through the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning of the Republic of Ghana, a USD 200 million term facility agreement dated 4th January 2013. And it says, we wish to advise that we have on the 27th of February 2013 debited the 5,000 affordable housing unit account number so and credited Stanbic Ghana Limited US dollar account number so at the Bank of Ghana in favor of Constructuro OAS Ghana Limited account number so. The amount represented an advance payment of 40% of the 200 million approved under the 5,000 affordable housing unit. Please acknowledge receipt. Yours faithfully, Adams Nyinaku. He is the head of the Treasury Department at the Central Bank, Bank of Ghana. So yes, 80% of that, 80 million of that being 40% was paid. Well, and you say that that's what bankrupted the system?
Yes, because...
But where is the crime in this if a contractor has to...
You see, the crime in this is that if you care to know, the 1,024, that is there now, you could use 40,960,000 United States dollars to do.
At the rate at which Parliament approved it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you give 80 million ab initio, and the 80 million was supposed to use for the importation of the requisite materials to do it, and it's not been done, then that is the scandal we're talking about.
So who have you reported to the CID?
I've sent the whole case to the CID for them to look at this case from a forensic investigation point of view and deal with the culprits. This is what I've done. And that is my unpleasant duty to do, because if you look at the amount that has been received and the deliverables, what you can find on the ground, you can see a whole embezzlement in the sum of 159,040,000 Ghana cedis. That is the difference, the embezzlement, the extent of the embezzlement. So if anybody is saying that, oh, we're trying to do politics with it, I'm afraid the person doesn't love Ghana. You see, I will sit down here as a minister for President Akufo-Addo, MPP, but I will not hallow any arrangement in which the little resources that we have is being raped. So this is where we are. And they've come out with all manner of accusations that, oh, the project was supposed to be done in phases. I could tell you to your face that the project was never intended to be done in phases.
It was a one-off project?
One-off project. 200 million US dollars should give us 5,000 housing units. You do projects in phases when you are cash-strapped. What does that mean? You start 1,000 housing units, you sell, rake in some revenue, and continue the process. But they were given good money, and there's no earthly reason why Ghana should be shortchanged.